Go! Okay, welcome to a new show. I haven't got a name for it yet, but it's kind of me talking with a load of people that I know that like games, about games, and what games they've been playing recently, and that sort of stuff, and what they're looking forward to. So today, we've just got Mr. Ello Guv'ner, who has done a couple of games with us before. You might recognise his voice.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, we did. I think we did some Payday, didn't we, at one point?
Yeah, I really didn't like that game very much. We played Magica, that was fun.
We did Magica, yes. You got frustrated a couple of times.
It was frustrating, but it was...
The random lag, just 600 ping suddenly, and then you've jumped down some stairs and died.
All the time that I got stuck floating in lava or something on the final boss.
Yeah, and Michael managed to skip over like half of the level as well. Just sort of skipped the entire room.
Good game, but very, very buggy.
Yeah, so it's been a while since we've done stuff.
I know, I haven't done anything with you in a long time.
But what have you been doing then, I guess, is my question.
I've been buying a lot of games and not playing them.
Good strategy. Why?
I don't know. I keep playing games and then I just kind of don't end up going back to them after like the first time playing them.
You play like a... Yeah. You play
I'm kind of waiting on a game at the moment to get me back into gaming because I've just not been playing many games at the moment.
You're just not completing them. You're playing a few hours of one that you get and just stopping.
Oh god, so many games to carry on at the moment. Let's see, what have I got installed at the moment? Braid, Machinarium, Riven. I need to do that. His second game of Mist. What else? I've been playing a lot of Civilization, Civ 5. That's about the only thing
that you've actually played a lot of, yes.
Yeah.
Saw you on at like 7 or 8 in the morning playing it. I think it was one day. I was like, wait, what? Did you stay up all night or not? Because I know before you have done playing.
Yeah. No, that time I'd woken up early.
That's cool.
But yeah, that's pretty good. Ended up grabbing Gods and Kings in the Steam sale, and yeah, that makes the game a lot better. I started playing it a lot more once I grabbed that.
So what does it add to the game then that sort of the base Civ 5 doesn't have?
Base Civ 5, basically, like, with Civ 4, they basically mastered the formula that they'd gone with for the first 4 games, and you know, they knew they couldn't do it to do the same game again because they pretty much perfected it by that point. So they made Civ 5. But the thing is, they simplified a bit too much. They started cutting bits out that were that were there in Civ 4, like the religion system and espionage and
that everybody else wanted. Yeah.
And everyone was like, well, why'd you do that? The game's too simple now. So they brought out Gods and Kings that brought all that stuff back in and a bunch of other little features and balance fixes and things.
New units or?
Well, the thing is, basically every sort of civ, every civilization has has the same units, and then like maybe 1 or 2 special units replaces one of the basic units. So it's not,
Yeah, it's not as sort of set as something like StarCraft, where every race has completely different units, or...
Yeah,
I guess a bit like Shogun 2, that's...
it's along the same lines,
Yeah, it's just, in Shogun 2, they cost different amounts of money and become available at different points in the game, like what structures you have. But, is that the one where, like, if you're English, your boats go faster? I can't remember. I haven't played Civ 5 for ages.
Stuff like that,
Yeah. Like little passive bonuses rather than...
Yeah, there's passive bonuses, and then there's like units that do slightly different things. Like I think there's the samurai replaces the longswordman or something for the Japanese, and it's just generally stronger but costs more, or some. It's side grade sort of things.
Okay. Very cool. Oh, Torchlight 2. Have you finished that yet or not?
I haven't played that in ages.
I was playing it loads, and then I've had a problem. I started it up once, and I changed the resolution to a windowed sort of resolution because I wanted to play it while watching something on YouTube. And then it went to like a little box, like 50 by 50 big. So that's, and then whenever I run it, it opens in this tiny 50 by 50 box. So I'm like, trying to get to the settings to set it to full screen, but I can't see because it's literally just this tiny corner of my screen is taken up by it. It's really annoying.
That's bizarre. Have you tried doing a fresh reinstall thing?
I haven't got round to it yet. No, I've got plenty of other games to play, so I haven't been that fussed with it.
Fair enough.
Like I got Dust Force. I don't know if you've heard.
Oh yeah,
Dust Force.
I've got Dust Force. That's one of the things I've got installed right now. I haven't really played it. I like it, but I think like I keep meaning to buy a thing so I can plug my Xbox controller into USB.
Yeah.
And I think it's like I'll probably end up playing that and all these other platformers I've got like once I've got that sorted out.
Yeah, I'm hoping sort of for Christmas to get a Xbox controller to plug in because like racing games and that sort of thing normally feel better.
Oh yeah,
I'd say.
flight games.
Yeah,
and
well,
sorts of
joystick,
stuff
yeah.
works better with it. Yeah.
And also I think Darksiders might as well because being a third-person game that's all about sort of button mashing combos, and you're kind of
it was blatantly designed for a controller anyway.
Yeah. I still haven't got Darksiders 2, and I haven't finished the first one. I've played 20 hours, but I don't know, I haven't played it for a while.
I might grab them if they're on sale at Christmas. I imagine they will be.
Well, yeah, or you could grab the THQ Humble
Pack
Bundle, which is just...
Is that still on?
Yep, you got another like 10 days, I think.
Oh, that's a lot. I didn't really pay attention how long. That's very long.
No, but that is a really good bundle of games.
Yeah, it's like all big title AAA games, isn't it?
Yeah, like you pay if you pay $5.64, you get Saints Row the Third. I would advise paying a little bit more than that, maybe, just because THQ are struggling at the moment. Like, their shares are worth like nothing, so they really need as much money as they can to keep making games. But from like the
thing is, I'd like to support them, but at the same time, I'm not going to pay pay money on games I'm not going to play. And I don't really want to play most of them. Darksiders is like the only one I care about, really.
Yeah, I mean, I've already got, because I'll just run through the list for people that haven't seen it. It's Saints Row the Third is like a bonus unlockable if you pay over a certain amount of money.
It's like the average paid, isn't it? Yeah.
And then you get Darksiders, Metro 2033, which you've probably seen more of than I have, so you could explain what that's about.
That's a post-apocalyptic, it's described as a hardcore shooter, I don't know, but the point is your weapons are all like cobbled together and it's this whole sort of civilization living in the metro system of ruined Russia, like ruined Moscow.
Very cool. And then Red Faction Armageddon, which I don't know how good that one is. I know there's loads of Red Faction games. I mean,
I don't really know much about it. I know like it's a lot more linear, and the destruction's kind of been replaced with this weird gravity gimmick thing.
A bit like Half-Life.
Kind of. It's more like remote grenade. It's like these remote
gravity grenade things. Or...
Yeah, it's like magnet grenade things.
I don't know. I think my favourite thing about Red Faction Guerrilla, what I've played of it, is the fact you can just run around with your hammer and just break like entire bases apart, and just with a hammer
throw a truck into a building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the fun of it. And then you've got Company of Heroes and its two sort of expansion packs. Company of Heroes is like a strategy game. It's critically acclaimed. Pardon?
Isn't it like a squad-based thing, like almost XCOM style? Or I could be
not really, no.
No?
No, nothing like sort of XCOM really. Like, it's more, of a real-time strategy than sort of a turn-based like XCOM is.
Okay.
Like, it's set in World War Two. Sort of,
Mhm.
the main campaign is like the D-Day landings. Like the first mission, you have to get a
Yeah.
group of soldiers up onto a beach, and then the second one, you're paratroopers that have landed behind. So cutting off sort of like reinforcements that are coming, and you sort of have to set up an ambush for like these tanks and stuff that come past with mines and stuff. So
I think I was thinking of Brothers in Arms, actually.
yeah,
Not Company of Heroes, but no, yeah, that's...
there's quite a few of that sort of game. Like there's Men of War series as well. I think they're fairly similar to the Company of Heroes, and that sort of genre.
Mm.
But I don't know. I haven't played that either. I've played a bit of Company of Heroes. I think I've got a code for it somewhere. A giveaway.
I don't know, I don't know a lot about strategy. Like, Civilization is basically the only strategy game I've gotten into.
Yeah.
Since like Age of Mythology, I think.
Age of Empires, they're good games as well. Like the first two were just amazing. Like when I was growing up, that's kind of my dad would be playing it, but like sort of when I'd be going to bed, and I'd just sort of sneak in and watch him play it for like an hour until he had to go downstairs. Like until Mum called him downstairs after like forever.
I remember. I think it was like my uncle had Age of Empires. Yeah, I remember that, and I ended up getting Age of Mythology because next best thing, I guess, and I absolutely loved that game. I couldn't play it. I ended up I was like, I don't remember how old I was, but I had to cheat through most of it because I just couldn't play it. But I loved it all the same.
Yeah, I think for some reason I remember Age of Mythology being on our computers in year 5 at school. I don't
Really?
know why, but I don't remember playing it very much, but I seem to remember it was on them. Like, that's weird.
It was basically Age of Empires. Some bits sort of simplified down, but you had like all monsters and god powers and stuff.
So a bit fancier than sort of the normal like boats and and catapults.
You could like all the different like there was like the Greeks, the Egyptians, and the Norse, and you all worshipped gods through different ways. Like the Norse, you worshipped your gods by killing things.
Oh.
And
Nice.
the Greeks, you had to like set your villagers, your workers, to actively worship and things, and then you could like spend the points you got from that on giant colossus and stuff that would stomp around and beat things up.
Very cool. Like, it's a bit more sort of a grand scale than Age of Empires battles, which are sort of more skirmishy, sort of.
Well, no, it was very skirmishy. It was still the same playstyle. It's just that you had all these really sort of fancy units.
Okay, yeah. Right, where are we going now? Where did that come from?
I don't know, we just
Where did that come from? Yeah, THQ appeared.
Oh yeah,
Humble Bundle.
THQ, and then we got onto strategy games.
Yeah, I guess, like, what games did you sort of start on, like, when you were growing up? What were your... Other than Age of Mythology, obviously, that we've already discussed.
I think the earliest game I remember owning was Game & Watch 2 on the Game Boy, I think. I think it was called...
That's a long time ago, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
Wow. Let's have a look and see if we can find when that was released.
Game & Watch 2 was just like a bunch of little mini-games. I ended up getting the first one at some point as well.
1997.
1997.
I think
I've got a game kicking around somewhere that's a year older than I am for the Game Boy. What, Mario Land 2? Super Mario Land 2, that's it. Love that game.
Is that the one which has the, like...
The 6 gold coins, and there's like 6 worlds and 6 bosses, and...
In between levels, is it the one with like the overview, like the entire map, the first one of that, or
Yeah, no,
Like,
kind of. You've got like a big map that's just basically a circuit and 6 worlds connected by the circuit.
yeah.
And then you go into the world, and it's most of them are just a linear level progression. A couple of them have like splitting paths.
Okay. Yeah, I think I know the one you mean. Yeah.
And there's Mario Land as one of the worlds, and it's a giant statue of Mario that you go up, and then you reach his crotch level, and that level is full of balls.
At least they had a sense of humour, I guess.
Literally, the entire level was made out of balls, and there were pigs that shot balls at you, and bears that bounced around on like big balls.
I wish you were making this up, but you probably aren't, are you?
No, not one bit. Oh.
So, I guess where did you move on from there? Give us a history of all of your games and sort of how you've developed.
Well, I started with the Game Boy and just played a lot of Game Boy. PlayStation 1 was the first sort of console I think I owned. A proper console. I had Crash Bandicoot, Road Rash, I remember, that was really good. It was a port from an older console, I think. Re-release. The original Medal of Honor, that was great, really good. It's like I still remember some of the weird stuff you got as like the bonus last level. Like the dogs that stood on their hind legs ran around with machine guns and things. Was that the second one? That might have been the second one, actually. Yeah. Ended up getting a PlayStation 2, and when I got the PlayStation 2, I ended up playing a bit more. Played what was it? There are a few games that I played absolutely to death, like Tony Hawk's Underground 2. Loved that game, mainly because of all the customization. There was loads of customization in that, loads. San Andreas, I played to death. There's other good games like Destroy All Humans. That was really fun.
I think I remember that. Is that the one where there was a UFO? But you didn't have, but you weren't in the UFO all the time, were you? Or
no, you could jump in the UFO and fly, blow up buildings and have fun. Most of the game was played on foot, and you ran around, and you had psychic powers, and you could like disguise yourself as like normal people and like read their minds, and there were missions where you had to like follow trails of thoughts to figure out where something you were looking for was, and it was really fun. The second one was a lot better because the story was more fleshed out, and everything was kind of improved on. So yeah.
So yes, you covered the main PS2 games of like Tony Hawk Underground 2 and San Andreas, with like two of the biggest games for the PS2, probably, weren't they? Like they're probably two of the games that stand out from that
for
time
me,
zone. Yeah.
Tony Underground 2, I wouldn't say so much. I think,
which one was it you said? Sorry.
like San Andreas is like, those two games were big for me, but San Andreas was like a big game. Loads of people played that.
Yeah.
I think Underground was that big. I don't know. I can't really remember. But I think Star Wars was the other ones. They were. I loved those games so much. And it wasn't until I got my Xbox that I started really getting into gaming. That's what sort of really really sparked my interest. Games like BioShock.
That game is so good. I love BioShock. Like, when I was playing through it for the first few hours, I didn't sort of think I was going to like it. like too much. Like I kept running out of ammo, and I was just going around like it was a normal sort of FPS where you've got like 1,000,000 ammo and you can just shoot like crazy. Then I sort of realised that is not the point of this game at all, and like by the end I actually sort of got it. Even if I did go into the final boss thinking, oh, it's easy peasy, I'm just going to take one health kit and be done with it. that I regret doing that, because that took me like an hour to complete at least, in like 3 sessions of just getting frustrated at it because I was so stupid. Because you can't go back on the save. Like when you go up to the final boss level, there's no way to sort of go back and change like, health kits unless you saved before, which I hadn't.
I wanted to like go back and do a couple things, and that I hadn't done, and then I went into the final boss, and it
just takes you to the end, and it's like, oh.
Like override. It doesn't even do like a separate auto save or anything for you right before you like cross the point of no return. It's just like if you try loading your save, if you haven't made one yourself, you just end up in the elevator going to the boss.
Yeah, it's slightly annoying, but
well,
it's just how the game works. It does warn you before you go in the lift that this is the final point. So.
What was the other? Darkness. I loved the Darkness, that game. I played the second one. I don't like I played a bit of the demo, and I didn't like the control much. I didn't like the way they took powers away and tried to flesh out the one power. I would have preferred just add more powers. That would have, but I don't know.
Yeah, because I never got around to playing the first one like in depth. I remember one of my friends who had a PS3, he bought it around and he had the demo on it, and I think he played through the demo, and I remember it being pretty cool because you could use the sort of the tentacles as like cameras and sort of stuff, couldn't you? You took sort of the tentacles out, whereas in the second one you kind of just hit people and throw stuff at people with the tentacles.
Yeah, there was like the snakes. Send them out separately from yourself to like hunt people down, and that was pretty cool. There was kind of a risk reward with it, because if you left your like main guy alone too long, there's an enemy AI might just like run up and shotgun you. So but I really liked that. And later on, you got some cool powers, like the demon guns were pretty. You like picked them up in this demon realm, and they had infinite ammo. They were fueled by your darkness.
Okay. Oh, you're breaking up horribly.
Am I?
You were, yeah. Let's just try closing Firefox and check I'm not downloading anything. Alright. Continue!
You had like these guns. One was a really rapid fire weak gun, and one was literally just a cannon. Just a cannon in the form of a handgun.
I bet, like in Serious Sam, there's a cannon that you just pick up and fire cannonballs, and that's crazy. Like,
these are like they're like bullets, but they explode, and it's kind of got like the impact of a cannonball, and it's just And then there's the black hole power, which is like the last one you get. And
yeah, that's the same in Darkness 2, the vortex power or something. I think it's called. It's the last one you unlock.
That one was always fun, just when you got a big group of enemies. And you could bring down helicopters with the stuff. Sorry, interruptions.
That's alright.
Edit that.
I will, don't worry. Don't worry. They'll just see this bit of us going, no, nothing happened.
Luck.
Right. Where were we?
I think, I think most games I've ever actually ended up owning was for the Xbox. Well, unless you count the millions of indie games I got off Humble Bundle, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of games on Xbox I ended up playing. Really, really great fun. Like, I got the Mass Effect series on Xbox. That was That was
Yeah.
like, I think I was talking with you the other day, wasn't I, about it?
Yes, because I'm actually trying to play through the first one. Like, this is my third attempt at trying to play through it. Because the first time I tried it, which was when I had my laptop, which really couldn't handle it. It was like sort of 5 frames a second and horrible.
Oh, but yeah.
Then when I first got this machine over there, I played it for about 4 hours, and then I can't remember why I stopped playing it. I think I just got a different game, like got another game, and as it was, because it was probably Christmas time, like Steam Christmas sale, I just bought more games and ended up playing them instead.
Oh yeah.
I just never got around to continuing. So this time I'm just like, right, I'm gonna do it. And so far I've done the Citadel bit, obviously, and the spaceport bit. I have rescued Dr. Liara. Is it Liara?
Yep,
Yeah.
Liara.
From the like ancient Prothean ruin planet or whatever. Spoilers.
Yep.
Yeah, spoilers if you. Yeah, I'll put something on until we stop talking about Mass Effect. Although this is really not very far into the game at all.
The story of the first... I mean, the biggest twist in the first game, I'm not going to say it, but the biggest twist doesn't really come till about halfway through. And even then, it's like, you probably know everything about it, because there was, like...
Yes.
The Reapers, basically,
Yeah.
which was the whole point of number 3 a little while ago,
Yeah.
was just, defeat the Reapers! Defeat the Reapers, everyone!
They're already mentioned, like in the first sort of 3 or 4 hours. I've had the Reapers mentioned as what wiped out civilization 50,000 years ago.
Well, the biggest twist comes halfway through. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not
Don't
going to tell you
spoil
what
it,
it is,
no.
because I don't know if you know anything about it or not. But
Probably not. No.
like, it's not even really a twist. It's just a really memorable moment in the story. Just
Okay.
really, all this stuff happens at once. It's really memorable. You'll love it when you get to it.
Okay.
Probably.
What else have I? And then I've gone to. I can't remember the name of the planet. It's an ice one.
Ah, yes,
Peak
Noveria.
19
Noveria.
Yeah, I know it began with an N. I haven't
I think
finished
it's
that bit yet.
Noveria, something like
With
that.
the matriarch that you're trying to follow.
Yeah,
I have-
matriarch. Oh god, I can't remember her name.
Bear something.
Bowie. Boacia.
That sounds about right. Yeah, I've like, there's a bit where you have to, you obviously have to get to the hotel itself, and there's, do you remember the bit where you can choose whether you smuggle in that stuff that?
Oh yeah, there's all sorts of little mini quests around there. Yeah.
Yeah, I decided to betray him because I didn't want to be dealing with smugglers, so I just.
I
got
don't
more
remember
money.
the specifics of a lot of that. I do remember when you get. Have you gotten to the bit where you're actually in the labs yet?
Just about. I've got into like the facility, and I met the people, and then like used the neutron blast thing on one area of the facility.
Okay.
Where there was no life forms, and then the people got moody at me. Then I found the matriarch, died at the matriarch, realised that the game hadn't saved until before I had used the neutron blast, and I hadn't quick saved. So gave up at that point, and that's where I'm going to continue next time.
I can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one thing that's annoying me so far. I just keep forgetting to quick save. Like, I'll quick save and then I won't have needed to because it'll auto save.
Oh, that's the first game, isn't it? That's a really good one. There's a really good planet you go to, like mission, with these weird spore things. And again, I'm not going to go into details, but that's really fun. Like this whole colony is falling apart, and you've got like all these refugees, and it's cool.
Awesome. Sounds like I've got a lot to look forward to then.
The first one's probably got some of the most memorable moments. Like the second one's got the most memorable, I think, character development and characters and locations. But the first one's got nearly as memorable locations and maybe even more memorable locations and really memorable moments, I think. And then the third one's just kind of... we don't talk about the third one.
The third one, I don't know. From what I've seen of like bits of it, it seemed pretty linear. I don't know if that's just because
the problem with the third one is that I think they. I don't really even know where to begin. The story went a bit. It kind of started meandering about a bit too much,
okay.
And the ending is infamously bad. And they released like a fix for it.
Yes,
but
is that
even with the fix, it's still quite bad. But it's not. It's the gameplay is kind of like the second one, but it's a bit more stilted, I think.
Okay. I did hear something about what's it called? There was a. What am I looking for? There was a bit of news on PC Gamer about Mass Effect of some sort. I can't remember what it was though.
There was a DLC released recently, Omega or something.
It may have been that. I'm not. Is it an expansion?
Yeah, it's DLC where there's this place called Omega, which is kind of like a big pirate space dock station place, basically, run by this Asari character that you meet in the second one. And you kind of meet her at one point in the third game, and she's like, Omega has been taken over by this group called Cerberus. I think it's Cerberus that's taken it over. And the DLC is basically you help her take it back.
That would have been what it is, yeah. 2 days ago that was released by the looks of it. Yeah, I guess that's probably what I saw. But also, Wii U came out and Mass Effect 3 is a launch title for it.
I know, and I've heard it's a really good port, I think.
Yeah, I would think it probably would be. I mean...
I think it's Mass Effect 3 is a good port and Assassin's Creed 3 isn't. I could be getting that the wrong way around.
Well, I think it's over half of the launch titles are re-releases of some sort. Like, that's what I'd heard. I mean, Darksiders 2.
Bayonetta 2 has been a selling point for a few people as well, because Bayonetta has quite a following.
It's sort of a spectacle fighting game, isn't it? Like just a crazy.
It's kind of Devil May Cry style, I think.
Okay, yeah, I think I played a bit of the third one of that. I picked it up for like $1.99 in a game store once. PS2.
Yeah, I think they released Devil May Cry 5 recently, and I've heard that's absolutely atrocious and just a terrible sequel in almost every way. But you know that's what I've heard from certain people. I don't know for myself.
Let's see what we got. You've got Darksiders 2.
Mm.
Could be pretty good, I guess. I mean, I haven't played it yet, but Trine 2 apparently. Trine 2.
Yeah, that's. I imagine that would work quite well with the Wii U, especially. Yeah.
What is this tank? What is this?
Imagining it's either some sort of tank driving game or one of those, you know, that game where it's like you've got the tanks on the hills and you've got to shoot over the hills at each other, like the 2D game thing.
It's a party game. It looks like a party game of some sort.
There's Wii U Land or whatever it's called.
It's Nintendo Land, is it?
Nintendo Land, that's it.
Like a bit like Wii Sports and that sort of thing, isn't it? It's the equivalent.
All of the games are kind of the same with slight variations. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them, probably like the Wii, a lot of the games are going to be good sort of with a group of people, but probably not so much single player, although you've got Darksiders, Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, Black Ops 2 is actually on the Wii U, I think.
The point of the Wii U was to try and be more gamer focused, wasn't it? So
yeah.
They secured all these, you know, they've got Bayonetta 2 as their kind of exclusive, and then they secured all these other games. And, yeah. Apparently, a few of them are actually really good.
Yeah, I'm not going to get one myself. I don't think, just because it's like, what is it, like £300? Is it something like that?
I wanted like a while ago. I was like, oh yeah, I think I actually really want to get this, and then it came out, and I was like, actually, no, I don't. I don't really want to get this console.
Like, would it be a waste of money? Would you spend that much time on it? Oh, dang! £450? Whoa!
Serious?
On Amazon. Nintendo Wii U 32GB Premium Pack Black. What does it have in it then?
I definitely think I'll be getting it then. I mean, the thing is, I'd like to grab it because I've never owned a Nintendo console proper. And, you know, I've never really played any of the Nintendo franchises, and I want to, basically.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that's a lot of money.
I want to play, you know, I want to play Zelda, I want to play Mario, but not that much. I don't want to play them.
Well, I guess it's because it's like got the tablet sort of in it and that sort of stuff is why the price is so high, but that's still mad. Like, that's 3 times the Wii's release price, pretty much, because that was £180, I think. So
yeah, well, the idea of the Wii was cheap and for the family sort of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. I guess it's about the same price as a PS3 was when it came out, though. Like
yeah, released around that much, didn't it?
Oh, well, this is a bit more reasonable. The 8GB basic pack is £248. What's the difference between the premium pack and the basic pack? Let's just have a quick look.
Sounds like more memory and stuff.
Well, yeah. Although 24 gigabytes of memory is not worth £200. Like,
it's got like an extra tablet or something.
Yeah, because I mean the tablet's going to be the expensive part in the production of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here we go. Box contains, and where's the box contains one for this? Oh, that's useful. This box contains. Okay. Here we go. Oh no, there's only one.
Really?
Yeah, apparently so.
Does it come with like a bunch of extra Wii?
Oh no, hell.
Wii controllers or something?
It comes with a charger, a stand for the console, an HDMI cable, the sensor bar. Whereas this one doesn't. Hang on, it doesn't come with the sensor bar like the basic one, because I guess you could. I would assume you can still use the original Wii's one then, if the basic pack doesn't include one.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure they're basically the same thing. I mean, I think the sensor bar is only there so that you can use the Wii controller on it in the first place.
Yeah, like, I don't know, because you can use Wii controllers for the games if, like, multiplayer, can't you?
Yeah, well, that's the idea. I think you can have 2 tablets and 2 controllers, or maybe it's only 1 tablet and 3 controllers, but
that could be pretty cool, because you could have, like, a game sort of where one person has to do, like, one thing, and the other 3 are, like, working against him, or sort of that sort of thing.
Well, that's the idea, isn't it? That's really the Wii U's, like, main strength, is the fact that they can really do, like, that style of game. And they've kind of done that with Nintendo Land, because I've seen a bit of footage of it, and it was actually Game Grumps, and they were playing this game where one person had to collect these sort of marble things, and the other person controlled a couple of, like, chasers that had to chase the other guy down and catch him. And I think had, like, was on the tablet, and I don't know, maybe they had the whole map and they had to try and, I don't know.
That's, like, they've...
He had, like, the chaser had, like, 2 guys that he had to coordinate together to one or the other guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely got potential. Like, it depends how crazy people want to go with it, though.
It's got potential, but it's going to require some devs going really... really...
pushing the boat out and actually trying to...
Oh yeah, really sort of emphasizing the whole extra screen thing, like private information for one player sort of thing.
Yeah, because I mean, this is kind of stealing from other podcasts, but like, sort of this is where I had sort of heard about it. Like Fatal Frame. I don't know if you've heard of that game before or not.
No.
No, but they talk about sort of that on TGS podcast quite a bit, and that's a game where like you would have a camera, and you'd be going around like a house, and there'd be ghosts and sort of things there, but you couldn't see them unless you looked through the camera. Now imagine that on the Wii U. That would be thing and a half. That would be too creepy. Like,
what was Pokemon Snap? Could work. Imagine that. Like,
oh yeah,
like on the screen is just the regular, and then like on your tablet you've got the sort of what you'd see through the viewfinder of the camera.
Yeah, so you can just sort of take pictures of stuff you can see on the yeah. That would work. Yeah, that's a good idea.
People have been wanting a Pokemon Snap sequel for God knows how many years now.
Yeah, I seem to remember in like all my, because I used to get loads of Nintendo magazines and stuff, there'd always be like on the Pokemon one, like Pokemon games that sort of like deserved a sequel or that sort of stuff. There'd always be sort of Pokemon Snap would be mentioned. Like in almost every sort of Pokemon article where they were going through like the history of Pokemon, they would have a bit about Pokemon Snap, like this was a thing.
Yeah.
But that's kind of all they sort of went in.
They like released a bunch of spin-off Pokemon games on the 64.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like they released one token spin-off game on all of the later consoles, and they were always kind of disappointing, I think.
What spin-off game was there on the GameCube?
I don't remember which one was.
And...
There was Colosseum and there was GX, and I don't know.
Are they really sort of? I don't know if they're. I guess they're spin-offs because they're not sort of a classic Pokemon that's played on a handheld.
Yeah,
but...
they're not like proper wander around the world, collect your Pokemon. I mean, I think GX was you had to like you got new Pokemon by like curing Pokemon of evil blackness or something. I don't know. It wasn't your typical Pokemon game, so.
No, I think Colosseum's kind of similar to that. Or there were people that were stealing Pokemon. That was it. There were people that stole Pokemon, and they were evil Pokemon when they got stolen, and then you had to like rescue them or something along those lines. I know it involved stealing Pokemon, but that's.
I think and GX was something to do with a Dark Lugia or something. Lugia, I don't know how you say.
I think there was one on the box or on the cover art, if I remember rightly. Okay.
Speaking of Pokemon games, 3rd gen is best gen.
What, the Ruby Sapphire?
Ruby Sapphire Emerald, best gen.
Ooh, I don't know. I really do like the 2nd generation. I really do. I'd say
second gen is really cool, but I don't know. I like 3rd gen more.
I probably put the most hours into the 3rd generation, but I think I enjoyed the 2nd one more. Like, the 250 Pokemon, meaning that you could actually sort of get quite a lot of them. Like, and I don't know. I liked the sort of dogs, the Suiza and
Suicune and whatever is.
I always called it Suicide. I don't know why, but that's just how I did it. I can't remember the other ones, but they look cool. Like, I don't know. Rather than, because Groudon was a bit just sort of this big red lizard thing. He wasn't too imaginative.
I know. Groudon. Yeah. I like Kyogre though. Kyogre and Rayquaza were cool.
Yeah, it was like a big sort of fish, like Manta Ray, but not Manta Ray.
And also 3rd gen has my favourite Pokemon of all time, Absol. Because Absol.
Where are my my Pokemon cards. I've got them right over there.
I've got like a box upstairs of just millions of Pokemon cards from like the first 2 sets.
Yeah, only got sort of the first 2 sets, and then it all sort of stopped. Like no one. I've got energy cards. You can't see these, Liam, unfortunately, but oh my god, this thing is just full of energy cards. Why have I got this many? I never actually played the game though. Like really.
I think a little while, like when a little while ago, I started getting into card games like a few months back. And,
yeah, you were talking about Magic quite a bit to me.
Yeah, I got really into Magic, and I ended up downloading a Pokemon trading card game, like the Game Boy game. I got the emulator for that to try it out, and that was pretty fun up until the point where the game was ridiculous.
I have an original Pikachu that has purple tips on its ears.
Oh wow!
The purple tail, like
chubby Pikachu.
Yeah, really fat Chew. Oh, I've got some of the new ones as well. I did buy some of the new ones when Black and White came out because I played Black and White a lot.
I know a little while ago, they introduced Dragon as like the first new type since 2nd gen in the card game.
Yeah, because Dratini was like normal type, if I remember, in like the original game. Dratini was just a normal type Pokemon, and I lost one at a supermarket.
It's an interesting memory.
I don't know, there was like a railing on the wall, and I just sort of put it on the top of it, and then it fell off, and then I couldn't get it out, and I left it there.
Huh.
You probably didn't need to know that, but that was a thing that happened.
What was it? There was like normal psychic rock was like a combo of ground rock and fighting, and it was they like comboed a bunch of the like types from the game into each other for the card game, and then in 2nd gen they introduced Steel and Dark as types in the card game.
Well, yeah, you've got Water, Psychic, Grass, Fire, and I can't. What is this one even called? It doesn't say. It's the orange one that had a fist shape, isn't it? Is the
that was like
rock
fighting or rock, or it was both really.
Yeah. Pokemon cards, so cool. And Yu-Gi-Oh cards as well. I got a fair few of those, but
never played Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, I actually made decks in Yu-Gi-Oh, but what I did is there was this like it's the same as like Pokemon and stuff. Each card does like damage. There was a lot of like buff cards and stuff you can give that like do more damage or that sort of thing. I
vaguely remember the like anime.
Yeah, there was a big god thing made out of 5 cards or something.
Yeah, and then there was like a big sphere.
And the Blue Eyes White Dragon? That's the one.
And there was like Magic Girl, and there was like a god or something that was a big sphere, and then you opened it up and it was a bird or something. I don't remember that. There was something like that. It was like the plot was revolved around god cards or something.
Yeah.
And
there was one that had like 0 sort of HP, but it had this like attack that could just insta-kill, if I remember rightly. It was like an eyeball and just a load of black sort of mush around it. I don't know what it was called.
There was some weird stuff.
Yes. Right. What else did I write down as possible questions? What games are you looking forward to? In, like, soon?
BioShock Infinite. That's it, pretty much. Just BioShock Infinite. I think it's not. Well, GTA.
Hello? Uh-oh. Internet connection problem on Skype. Okay, we were talking about... It was BioShock. Was the first thing.
BioShock Infinite.
Yeah.
It's probably the only game I was saying was the only game really I was looking forward to, and then I remembered well, GTA 5 is looking better every day. Like
Every trailer and bit of information that is
yeah,
released.
like the three protagonists that all live like separate lives, and then you can jump between them, and then on missions they all like play a different role, and you can choose which part of the mission you want to play. Like the example is like one guy flying a helicopter, one guy parasailing into a building, one guy sniping, and
Yeah.
And someone I was talking to about it was like, I said I think I'd like the sniping position there, and he was like, well, you see, I'd say. He was like, I'd probably go with the guy running and gunning inside.
Yeah.
And we were just like, yeah, but that's like the good thing about it is you've got this choice in the first place. You can be like, well, I'd rather be the sniper, so press a button. I'm the sniper now. I can pot shot people and let the AI deal with like
the rest of it. Yeah. So I would assume that multiplayer works in that you can have 3 people.
I would hope so.
Because if it doesn't, then they've missed so much
they have made such a big mistake. I mean, I think the thing people have been saying since San Andreas, when they introduced that weird like 2-player run around and all you can do is shoot each other thing.
Yeah.
There was that in San Andreas. Your options were shoot each other or shoot civilians. Ever since that, I think people have been saying we want to be able to play the story together. So
yeah, that's how they've designed this game, by the sounds of it. Like, if they're designing it around having multiple protagonists, then that's why they've done it. Yeah.
If it's not why they've done it, then they're just trying to get people.
They're trolling so hard that it's.
Yep. Yep. And Bioshock Infinite, well, it's the true Bioshock sequel, isn't it? And Bioshock 2 was kind of a cash-in.
Remember what happened when we tried to play Bioshock 2? It just crashed.
It seemed like a fun game until it crashed and wouldn't start again, but...
Yeah,
It's still such a cash-in that it's just... Yeah.
You are the big daddy.
You are the big daddy, and multiplayer, and all of these new story threads, because the first game tied up pretty much everything perfectly.
That is true. Everything is just... It's ended so well, isn't it? Like
everything is like tied up in the first game. There was no need for a sequel, but cash in, so...
Yeah, I did watch, I watched the alternate ending the other day to the one I had, because I had the good ending where I saved the people, I think, and I watched the bad one where
you basically nuke everything or whatever.
Yeah, I think it is, isn't it? Like, you set them up on the world and they killed everything.
There was something like
lines,
that,
isn't it? Yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
You like release the splicers upon the world, and then you see them just taking over a nuclear sub.
Yes.
Cheery endings.
Lovely. Yes. Well, I guess that's it for games and stuff I've found. Is there any TV or films that you've seen recently that are awesome that people should go and check out?
Go read a thing called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, or watch it. They're making a series out of it at the moment. I think it's anime, manga, Japanese stuff. It's good. It's about big burly men. It's about big burly men punching each other and vampires and magic, psychic. Aztecs, I don't know. It's just good. Go read it.
A mixture of craziness all together, and just
well,
comes
it starts out where it's like vampires, and then that happens for a couple chapters, and then magic Phoenix Aztecs punch each other, and then
it just escalates.
And then I don't know what happens after that, because I haven't got further than that yet. That's
Right.
like 3 chapters into like 12
Oh dear
written
God.
so far.
What was I going to say? It sounds a bit like From Dusk Till Dawn. I don't know if you've ever seen that film, Quentin Tarantino film.
No, no.
No, I haven't seen the whole film, but we were shown a bit of it, and it starts off as like a bank robber sort of thing, and there's these two guys that are escaping across the Mexican desert or the desert to get to the border for Mexico, and they stop off at a hotel one night or like a motel sort of on the side of the highway, and it's inhabited by vampires. That yeah, I really
think
want to
I've
see
heard
the whole
about that
film.
one.
Like
I
it just
think I've
sounds.
heard about that one, yeah.
And from the intro to it, it was just so, like, crazy as well. It was so cool. Like, some guy got shot through the hand in, like, the first 5 minutes. And so it was just like, oh, I've been shot through the hand. And then they sort of went out of the shop and drove off. Like, I just want to see the whole thing.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
No, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. At the moment, they're making a sort of an anime. They're like actually making it now, based on the like first book, I guess, of it. So the first sort of story, because all the stories follow different generations of this same family.
Okay.
And the sort of link is all of the protagonists' names can be abbreviated to JoJo, hence JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
So it all links into the title. Yeah.
Yeah, and the first couple are about vampires, I think, and the vampires like came from some sort of Aztec magic, and then the third one they introduce these things called stands, which are like they're kind of like spirits that are invisible to everyone, but other people with these spirits, and then they basically they basically fight each other with these spirits, and then and then there's the dog. Then there's Iggy. Iggy is a dog that has a stand, and he's basically the best character in the third book, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so what, are they available sort of online, or...?
I'm reading them online at the moment, but there's the anime that's being made at the moment of the first book, and then there's the kind of other older anime that's based on like the third book, and I watched that a little while ago, like not too long ago. That's the first thing I saw of it, and that's it's awesome, but it's goofy. Because that's like the one where they first introduced the stands, and there's some really goofy bits to that. Like the French guy that doesn't have a French accent at all. and the most generically named like Egyptian guy, Abdul. And there's this one scene that's just stuck out to me since the first time I saw it, where for some bizarre reason all the main characters drink in perfect unison. They all like order a drink together at this bar, and then they all just drink it in perfect unison.
Like you always sort of watch.
It's so bizarre. It comes right out of nowhere. There's no reason for it.
They just suddenly do it.
They just suddenly do it and carry on, and it's... Yeah.
Yeah, it's... Sounds like it might be one worth checking out. Alright.
It's good.
Okay, well I guess that's it for this first pilot episode of...
Whatever this is.
The Octochat show.
Octochat, yeah.
That'll do. I know there's only 2 of us, but Octochat will... Okay.
I'll do more of this if you want, when we get other people.
Yes, I'll see how many people I can grab, and sort of eventually we'll have like... There will be 8 of us, maybe. So we can have a chat about sort of news and whatever that's gone on last week, sort of to do with games and that sort of thing. Like, I mean, I would grab... Like, wait. End of the show! Goodbye, everybody!
Goodbye, leave you on a cliffhanger.
Yes.
Who are we going to have next time? Dun dun dun.